All right, so the finals of best of 5 between eOnzErG and trutacz. trutacz, I believe, having 3 wins under his belt. If he wins one more TLC, he will be on par with Scan for 4 wins.
He'll be banned.
Exactly. And eOnzErG, I believe, is still going for his first win. I don't think he's actually won one of these events yet. And before we start, of course, I want to give a shout out to Rustbrain for sponsoring the event. Thank you very much. Of course, the first place prize is $50, $35 for second, and I believe $15 for third. So yeah, good stuff. All right, game number 1, Artenis, are you ready?
I am definitely ready for the CPC. We're gonna have some great Hive games, I'm sure.
All right, let's do it. All right, let's get at least one Hive game. Come on.
Dude, if there's one Hive game, I'm going to be so happy. It's gonna make my day.
Gotta trust in the trutacz.
Yeah. So here we go. We've got eOnzErG, the challenger to the throne, the person that wants to take his first TLC win today. He has the teal zerg in the bottom left corner, facing off against the champion trutacz in the top right corner. Having already won, I believe, 3 tournaments. He wants to take the 4th one right now.
Indeed, he does. So, Bloody Ridge for the start. I mean, you know, ZVZ, most of the maps won't make a huge difference. One thing to keep in mind on Bloody Ridge is the distance between like the natural. So if you make the natural hatchery here, there's quite a big gap for you to block to stop like any kind of ling run bys or anything like that. So you have to be slightly careful if you want to go for an early hatchery, you know, like a 12 pool expand or even a 12 hatch, something like that. You gotta be a little bit careful about that.
Yeah, and the entrance from the natural to the main is also all low ground, so there's no high ground advantage. So creating the zergling arc is a little bit more tricky. It's also a little bit bigger.
Indeed, indeed. So, well, let's see what they go for. We're gonna have 12 something from both players, interestingly. It's always funny to see the dynamics on 2-player maps, because obviously you can scout the other players straight away. Kind of tricksy.
Yeah, so yeah, in ZVZ, like, in ZVP, overpool is a very common build, and ZVT is also used quite a bit, but in ZVZ you pretty much never see it, because it doesn't really have an advantage over a 12 pool. So, in ZVZ you generally see 3 builds. You either see a 9 pool, a 12 pool, or a 12 hatch. It looks like both players went for a 12 pool this game.
Yep.
And it pretty much goes like this. A 12 pool has an advantage over a 9 pool, but is at a deficit to get to a 12 hatch. 12 hatch, it's good against a 12 pool, but bad against a 9 pool, and the 9 pool is good against a 12 hatch, but not against a 12 pool.
And if you want to be really hipster, you can go for an overgas like Jack did in the finals last week. God, that was hilarious. But yeah, it's generally as you say. I mean, you know, with really good micro and decision making, you can obviously overcome these kind of quote unquote build order deficits. I know Day 9 was like super adamant that, like, you know, there's no kind of build order deficit. Like every build is good against every other build. But yeah, you definitely have some advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah. So JVC was a thing for a long time.
Exactly, exactly. So I guess we'll see though. But you know, it's mirror builds here, 12 pool expand. So you know, no build order differences here. We'll just have to see. It's down to the micro. It's down to, you know, who's going to make the sneak in the extra drone, who's going to have the slightly better micro, slightly better positioning.
Both players mirroring each other and getting speed as well, and then pulling a drone off gas to go for slightly later layer than you could potentially have. And they're actually both going to block in the center, really showing identical mindsets right now.
Yep. trutacz doing the slightly better block here. eOnzErG just like, meh. Just kind of lazily leaving them there. Oh, never mind. trutacz just pieced out. I mean, with the overlords, both players can see exactly the lane counts coming out from each other, so they know, you know, exactly what they have to build in return. And this is one nice thing about 2-player maps as well, is you don't have any kind of the random scouting differences that you can have like on a 4-player map if one person gets the overlord over and the other one doesn't. In this case, you basically have perfect information.
Yeah.
Which is actually really interesting, because it's something that, you know, usually doesn't happen in StarCraft or in any RTS. You very rarely get perfect information for an extended period of time, but in ZVZ, you know, basically until the spar units are out, both players know exactly what the other is doing. So it's really down to like mind gaming and just you know, control and no randomness, which I really like.
Yeah, actually, trutacz is sticking in one drone here, which is pretty risky because it means eOnzErG's gonna have 2 more links in a short bit. If he does build the drones, build the links, and he does. So that puts eOnzErG at a slight link advantage, but he's gonna have slightly less good economy here.
Yeah, and that's one thing to note also is it's kind of like almost a game of chicken because yes, eOnzErG has the link advantage, but he has the travel time between bases. So as soon as trutacz sees him attacking, he can immediately build links to respond. So actually building the drones earlier is not necessarily risky or dangerous. It just, as long as you're paying attention to the minimap and you know what you're doing, it can actually be quite profitable. And oftentimes these games can be decided by who has the 1 extra drones, obviously because in ZVZ, the overall drone count is so low. Yeah,
and actually eOnzErG built a few more drones himself. He's up to 13 drones against the 11 of trutacz now. So he's overtaken him in the drone count.
I do like the games of drone chicken here in ZVZ. I'm still waiting for the day when both players just like go only drones for 20 minutes because they can see each other.
Yeah, but it needs to be a very long map for that to work.
And that's how we get high-level ZVZs. Oh, you know what map we should do it on? It should be Benzene. Benzene is like the biggest 2-player map ever.
Or we just do it on DMZ or something. I'm not sure how that would work. That was the map with the disruption webs in the middle.
Oh my god.
2v2 player map.
What, dude, no. No. I veto this decision.
It was a 2v2 map and every game ended in SCV or drone rush.
Oh my god.
It's beautiful.
Dude, so, Benzene was the map where Stork went like Nexus, Gateway, Cybernetics core, and then Forge against a Zerg player. He just had his core finished before making a cannon, which is hilarious. Because the map was just that long.
I'm looking at it now. It reminds me a bit of Bifrost actually in the layout.
Huh.
A lot. Benzene.
Oh god! Okay, so we have the first big deviation here. eOnzErG went for 3 mutas first, and trutacz went for 6 Scourge first, and it looks like he's gonna connect with almost every Scourge!
Wow, that was really good micro by trutacz.
3 Scourge connections, leaving 1 badly damaged muta and 1 full health muta. And 2 Scourge still alive, so only 1 of the Scourge was picked off for free.
Yep, and let's see, 25 links against 25 links, 13 drones to 12 drones. But now 14 drones as well. But he's actually not mining the natural gas yet, whereas trutacz has been mining for a little bit longer. He's going to have a 60 gas advantage over his opponent right now.
Ah, you are absolutely correct.
Actually, his main gas was also a little bit earlier, so he should have about 100 gas advantage over his opponent. And with the mutas he picked off with the Scourge as well, that's going to put him in even bigger of a lead in the gas department.
Interesting stuff here. I guess trutacz just going for the more of a Scourge focus with all that extra gas, and definitely seems fine. Let's see, 42 supply capped out against 45 supply for eOnzErG, but a few Scourge connections could definitely change that one way or the other.
It's also because trutacz has been supply bugged for a little bit, and he had a few less drones at some points in the game. So that might be related to it, but he should have more mutas once they all spend their gas.
Alright, well, looks like a bit of a lull right now as both players macro up a bit. No upgrades for either player, just spending all of their resources on the additional air units. But at this point I feel like you could definitely go for one of the upgrades because, you know, the 1 extra muta, once you have like, you know, a full control group versus the Pulse on Carapace, I think actually the Pulse on Carapace probably, well, I don't know, it's close. I'm not actually sure. If someone could do the math on when it's better to have the Pulse on Carapace versus the 1 extra muta, I'm sure there's some threshold. Oh my god! He just suicided like 3 or 4 Scourge into an Overlord. That's really bad by eOnzErG.
Oh wow. And trutacz is actually going to go for the armor upgrade in the meantime. So he is going to call it a chicken game there.
Yep, I do like that. Because I doubt this game will end before that upgrade finishes, so he will get the benefit. I think that's probably an important skill, actually, is recognizing when you're in these kind of like lulls in the game and you can actually afford to risk getting the Carapace. Obviously, there's a risk that eOnzErG just goes all in before this finishes and you've wasted those resources. But in general, I think in this kind of a situation, it's definitely good.
But it puts a clock on eOnzErG and he isn't aware of it because he doesn't know if trutacz is getting the upgrade or not. And that is the big issue here, because if trutacz is not getting the upgrade, it's going to have a muta advantage by the time he gets there. And yeah, it's a guessing game. So him not getting the upgrade means he's gonna have a deficit later in the game. And the only way he can prevent it is by either getting himself or by attacking, and he's not really doing either right now.
Yeah. I'm actually really surprised eOnzErG made that mistake earlier to lose the Scourge on the Idle Overlord. Just was not paying attention. But hold that thought. He's going out for a big attack with his Lings as well, going in the air and the ground. Oh man, this could be actually really, really interesting. It looks like eOnzErG has a lot of extra Lings compared to trutacz, and here we go. He's got a lot of Scourge as well. trutacz eating so many of the Scourge. I can't even believe it, and his mutas are distracted by the Zerglings on the ground, although it looks like he's going to stop them in the natural, but the mutas of eOnzErG coming in to get some drones while the mutas are occupied, and here we go. Gets the 3 gas mining drones. Huge exchange for both players.
I'm not actually sure who got ahead out of that, but I think trutacz is still in a better position because he has the carapace coming up.
Oh man, a nice bit of extra micro there at the end. Both players taking down all the Scourge without taking any hits. And as you say, the carapace, though, is almost finished. And note that the reason why getting carapace rather than +1 attack is better in ZVZ is because of the Mutalisk bounce. So the armor applies to every single bounce shot, which means because the Glaive Worm bounces 3 times, you're actually getting +3 damage reduction just from +1 armor, although obviously that's discounting the Scourge hits, which don't really matter anyway. But here we go, the Scourge going in. The Muta's in full retreat for eOnzErG. He's got no Scourge of his own. He's actually going to lose 2 Mutas on the retreat here for free, and he still has to deal with all these Scourge running in, and now trutacz is the one going after the gas drones. It looks like eOnzErG does manage to pick off most of the Scourge, but loses those 3 drones for free.
Yeah, and eOnzErG is in a world of hurt right now. It's 12 mutas against 9, and trutacz has the armor advantage as well, so whenever trutacz decides to end the game, I don't think eOnzErG can stop him.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad news here for eOnzErG. Oh man, he's just gonna commit. Whoa, hello. He's committing with an inferior muta count. What else is coming? He's got some Scourge coming in from the back, but trutacz looks like he's gonna do some nice micro against us, and looks like eOnzErG connects 1 Scourge, but just goes for these drones instead. But no, he can't figure out what he wants to do. Now he's gonna lose, I think, all these mutas due to the good move and shoot micro from trutacz. Really, really nice micro. GG from eOnzErG. And trutacz starts the series off with a win.
Yeah, that was a very nice decision making by trutacz, realizing he had the gas advantage, and he went for the carapace at the exact right time, managed to deflect eOnzErG's attack, and just brought it home afterwards with some good control.
Nicely done by trutacz there. But it's a best of 5.